Once upon a time, in a sunny and happy kingdom, there lived a kind king and queen. They had only one wish, to have a child. After many years, a miracle finally happened. One beautiful day, the queen gave birth to a baby girl with bright eyes that sparkled like the morning sun. Because she shone like sunlight, they named her Sunshine. The king held a big celebration to welcome the new princess. Everyone was invited, the people of the kingdom, the neighbors from other lands, and even the fairies from the mysterious forest. At the party, each fairy came forward and gave Sunshine a special gift: beauty, a clear, sweet voice, a kind heart, joy, and more. But when the last fairy was about to give her gift, a cloud of green smoke appeared and a cold wind rushed through the hall. A loud, scary laugh echoed around the room. The dark fairy appeared. "You invited everyone, but not me," she shouted. Because she was not invited, she became very angry. She pointed her staff at Princess Sunshine and cast a curse. On her 16th birthday, before the sun sets, Sunshine will touch a spinning wheel and fall into a sleep. Forever. With another cruel laugh, she disappeared. The whole palace fell into fear. But the last fairy, who had not yet given her gift, stepped forward and said, "I cannot break the curse, but I can change its ending. The princess will not sleep forever. She will fall into a deep sleep, and she will wake up when she receives a kiss of true love." Everyone felt a little safer, but the worry still remained. To protect Sunshine, the king collected all the needles, sewing machines, and spinning tools in the kingdom. To keep her even safer, the three kind fairies were sent to take care of the princess. They took Sunshine to live in the forest and raised her as their own child. There, the princess grew up happy, sweet, and gentle like the morning sunlight. Birds followed her every morning, and even the bears in the forest shook their heads when she played too wildly. The three fairies loved Sunshine very much, but they were also a little tired. Sunshine was adorable, but she was also full of energy and always curious. Then the day of her 16th birthday arrived. The fairies tried to keep Sunshine in her room until sunset, hoping to avoid the curse. But Sunshine did not understand. She only felt bored and sad. When the sun was almost down, suddenly, a strange door appeared on the wall. She had never seen it before. Inside the door, there was a flickering light and a clicking sound, like someone was working. Feeling curious, Sunshine opened the door. Behind it, an old woman was spinning thread. The shiny needle moved up and down. Sunshine had never seen a spinning wheel before, so she stepped closer with bright, interested eyes. She whispered, "What are you doing?" The old woman smiled and said, "Do you want to try?" Sunshine reached out and touched the needle, and at the exact moment the sun set, the curse took effect. Right away, Sunshine fell to the ground and sank into a deep, endless sleep. The three fairies quickly brought Sunshine back to the castle. The king looked at his daughter with a heart full of pain and made a decision. "I do not want anyone to wait alone. Let the whole kingdom sleep with Sunshine. When she wakes up, everyone will wake up too." Right away, the king, the queen, the guards, the cooks, everyone in the kingdom fell into a deep sleep. From that day on, people called her the sleeping princess of the forest. Time passed. Trees grew tall, vines covered the castle, and the whole place slowly disappeared behind a wall of thorns. It became a legend known as the Castle of Thorny Woods. One day, a young prince was riding past the forest. He heard the story of the sleeping princess. Suddenly, he felt curious, and something warm in his heart. So he decided to go inside the forest. Thorns, bushes, and branches blocked every path. But the prince used his sword to cut through, little by little. It took a long time, but at last, he reached the castle. He pushed open the big door. Inside, everyone was asleep. The prince walked through the quiet halls until he found a room filled with flowers. There, he saw the princess lying peacefully, shining like the morning sun. The prince stood still for a long moment. His heart felt pulled toward her. Touched by her beauty and her sad story, he bent down and placed a gentle kiss on her forehead. Slowly, Sunshine's eyes opened. She saw the prince. "You are awake," the prince said happily. Light filled the whole castle. Everyone began to wake up. The king, the queen, the guards, the cooks. The three fairies hugged each other and danced with joy. The king and queen ran to their daughter and held her tight. The entire kingdom came back to life, full of laughter and cheers. The prince looked at her gently and said, "Princess Sunshine, will you marry me?" Sunshine blushed, smiled, and nodded softly. Their wedding was the happiest celebration the kingdom had ever seen. The whole land shone bright like the sun. Music played everywhere, flowers bloomed, and people danced all day long. Princess Sunshine had found true love, broken the curse, and lived happily with the one she loved. Thank you so much for listening to the story.